Flooding in Ottawa and Muskoka got much of the attention last week as homes and cottages were swallowed by rising water levels. But Northern Ontario, from Sault Ste. Marie to Timmins, also scrambled as authorities issued flood warnings in many areas. That's all in addition to the recurring flooding that's put the Cree community of Kashechewan in jeopardy year after year. Claude Sharma is our Northeast Ontario Hub editor, and he joins us via Skype from his home in Greater Sudbury with more. Welcome to the show, Claude.
Hi, Jan.
All right, let's just jump right into it. Why is Kashechewan First Nations so susceptible to flooding year after year?
Well, Jan, just a quick history lesson. The First Nation community was forced to relocate to a new area back in the 1950s from the Canadian government. Evidently, they moved to a flood-prone area on the banks of the Albany River. So flooding occurs there pretty much every spring. What happens is there's an ice breakup in the springtime. The ice jams the Albany River, which creates fast and high rising water that discusses right into the First Nation community. On top of that, the dike there needs maintenance yearly, and it really isn't sustainable to keep the water out of that First Nation community.
All right, so we have some pictures from the flood in 2006. That's when the community was hit particularly hard. Tell us what we're looking at and how long has this problem been going on for?
Yeah, so these pictures are back from 2006, considered a major flood there. And what makes this such a big problem during that time is that they had to deal with 3 evacuations in kind of a 12-month span. One of the reasons why they evacuated one time for is because the First Nation community was just dealing with contaminated water. Now, how far does this go back exactly? Well, according to the federal government, they're saying one of the first major floods was also in 1976. And since then, 17 times the First Nation community has had to evacuate between 1976 and now 2019.
Now, when they do evacuate, where are they going? What happens to the residents, around this time?
So what happens is they fly into what is called host communities. So let's use this year, for example, 5 different communities, Thunder Bay, Hearst, Kapuskasing, Cochrane, and Timmins. Hearst this year was kind of just a temporary layover, and then the majority of them were shipped over to Cochrane. So they stay in hotels for the duration of the evacuation. Now that could be anywhere from 10 days, 3 weeks, several months, even longer. It just all depends on how the flooding situation is going on up in Kashechewan.
Now, you had a chance to speak to some of the evacuees. How are they handling not just the displacement this year, but the annual reoccurring flooding and evacuations over and over and over again?
They're sick and tired of it. It's hard on everybody, from the elders down to the youth. And it's up to each host community. They kind of do it differently. How are they going to entertain the evacuees? For example, I know that when I was in Kapuskasing, the CAO there, he wanted to help bring home to the evacuees. So he was constructing a teepee with members. They put on different forms of entertainment. A lot of them have told me they're bored.
You had mentioned the young kids. This is happening, March, April, May. These kids would probably be in school at this point. How is this affecting that?
Well, I mean, each year they can miss anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, longer than that. And if you think about it, I was told that the evacuations have happened every year since 2011, 2012. That's 7-8 years in a row. They're missing multiple months of school each year. But one big problem, too, on top of that, is that this year, the elementary school, which is kindergarten to grade 6, that school had to close down for the year. They go to school in portables, and those portables were just deemed unsafe. The portable structures were shifting, the doors were jamming, the fire alarms weren't working, the electrical problems were just mounting, causing for freezing classrooms. So then the students, 400, had to shift to the high school, which has about 200 or so students. So they had to shift the schooling this year. And by that, I mean the elementary school students had to go to school for 4 hours in the morning. And then the high school students, think about this, had to go to school from 1 to 7 at night.
Oh, wow.
So both the elementary and high school students already losing out on significant time because the elementary school just isn't up to standards.
Now, there seems to be some good news. There was a significant development yesterday on this front. What can you tell us about what they're calling the Relocation Implementation Plan that was announced on Thursday?
Yeah, so it was a framework agreement relocation plan, and it was signed by Kashechewan First Nation Chief Leo Friday, as well as Minister of Indigenous Affairs Greg Rickford for the province, and Minister of Indigenous Services Seamus O'Regan for the federal government. And this is something that they've been wanting for such a long time. And according to Minister O'Regan, he was saying that kind of if all goes well, that they could see the relocation happening in about 8 to 10 years, and this will be to higher ground about 30 kilometers southwest of where Kashechewan currently is.
Historically speaking, how significant is this agreement?
Well, Ontario Regional Chief Roseanne Archibald said this is significant, and the reason why she says is because there's a path. There are details in this agreement that kind of lay out the foundation of what to expect and when to expect it. So she's happy with that. Other First Nation leaders at the media conference on Thursday were as well. But I spoke to Chief Leo Friday after, and he was saying there's mixed emotions there. Reason being, yes, this is great that they put pen to paper and that there's more details, but he's still scared for First Nation community. Promises by the federal government have been broken before. He kind of wants to see more tangible evidence before he can celebrate.
Changing gears quickly, another major development in your region this week. What do we need to know about Sault Ste. Marie's economy? They might be getting a big boost there.
Yeah, well, Noront Resources, which is a Canadian-based mining company and has the largest land position in the Ring of Fire in Northern Ontario, which is a multi-metal area. They wanted to create or develop a smelter in Northern Ontario. So it was down to 4 cities, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Timmins, and Thunder Bay. Great news for Sault Ste. Marie. It's going to really diversify their economy, and obviously officials there are just thrilled that Noront chose Sault Ste. Marie to build the ferrochrome production facility.
When we look at the number of jobs, not only in terms of building it, but in terms of the long-standing, how many jobs will we be able to get out of there?
Well, keep in mind, this is a project that we're going to see shovels in the ground by 2025. And then with all things going according to plan, they hope that by 2028, the building will be resurrected. So that's still a long ways away, but 300 to 500 direct jobs. People will be employed at the smelter with up to 1,000 indirect jobs leading up to the build and after the build.
Curious to know. I know it was between Sault Ste. Marie and Timmins at the final stretch. How are city officials taking it in Timmins?
Obviously, very disappointed. The mayor and the Economic Development Corporation there were quick to respond when it was awarded to Sault Ste. Marie, but they feel they still have skin in the game. They say this is a long process. A road still has to be built, and that's a major factor in all this. Infrastructure has to be put in place. So between now and then, much can change. I know the mayor has gone on record to say that Noront Resources, according to him, is a junior mining company, and what we've seen a lot over the past few years, even longer than that, is a lot of mining companies, a lot of acquisitions from bigger companies. So what if Noront is bought? But between, I guess, now and when more things develop, the Timmins officials are just looking forward to that exit interview with Noront, kind of to see where they went wrong, where they can improve, and then kind of just go from there, Jan.
All right, something to keep an eye on. Thank you so much, Claude Sharma. That's Claude Sharma, our Northeast Ontario Hub editor, joining us from his home in Greater Sudbury. Thanks again.
Thank you.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario, helping businesses stay on the right side of change with strategic thinking, insightful decisions, and business leadership. Are you on the right side of change? Ask an Ontario CPA.